Grayscale has just registered Cardano and Hedera ETFs in the state of Delaware. We are going to look at that news today, plus plenty of other HBAR news. We got Saucer Swap announcing major grant funding. This RWA platform is soon coming to Hedera mainnet. We will look into more about that. Hedera hits tier 1 status on this platform. We'll dive into that news. And this company is bringing institutional finances on chain through Hedera. I know when I say on chain, you got to be on DLT or whatever the equivalent would be. Anyway, we're going to dive into all that, plus that Grayscale news registering that ETF. We're going to dive into all that on today's Frugal BC. By the way, guys, if you like this stuff, please hit that like and subscribe button. Now, remember, you don't have to smash it. You can just press it gently. And big thanks to everyone who got us to 6,000 subscribers. Super cool to hit that benchmark. So we're back to just pressing it gently. It's fine. And we also have channel membership starting at only $1. You can see these videos before anybody else. Check that out in the community tab. And since this is a non-Algorand video, we're just going to give a brief shout out to our sponsors, Non-Fungible Domains, for that .algo address, and to Marcus Aurelius, a meme coin and NFT project on the Algorand blockchain. But this is a Hedera video, so let's dive into our Hedera news. And first off, we want to talk about the Saucer Swap, one of the biggest DeFi platforms, announcing some major grant funding here. Let's dive into this. Right from the horse's mouth from Saucer Swap Labs themselves, we say we're excited to announce that Saucer Swap Lab has secured 12 plus months of grant funding from the Hedera Foundation to accelerate core protocol development. This capital will directly support deeper ERC20 and HTS interoperability, embedded cross-chain integrations, and expanded trading tool set, including automation, advanced order types, and DCA, a mobile app with wallet support, and a perpetual futures platform. Lots of cool stuff coming. That is the roadmap. You can see the little map there going from quarter 3 2025, getting that mobile app out there, all the way to Saucer Swap version 3 in 2026. I will say, and quarter 4, they're going to have the limit, stop loss, and DCA orders. Tinyman, my favorite DeFi platform on Algorand, did the same thing recently, where they added those limit order capabilities. So pretty cool to see that. This makes this much more useful. So I think they got some cool stuff in their roadmap. I think this is really the go-to for DeFi on Hedera. Always happy to hear if you guys have other ones that you like. Let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'll look into that at some point. But anyway, let's move on to our next item, and that is this RWA platform is going to be live on Hedera mainnet very soon, on testnet now. What is it? Let's take a look. This is called Bizen Link, as far as like Byzantine, you get it. Anyway, we're live on the Hedera testnet, institutional grade RWA tokenization infrastructure, now on a Hedera network built for scale, speed, and sustainability. From T-bills to private credit, we're unlocking capital markets for the new era. Mainnet coming soon. You can join the waitlist if you're interested on that. You can check out Bizen Link. You can see the thing here. And Gen Infinity getting in on interviews and not getting a response. That's a little that's too bad, huh? I like this kind of stuff. RWA is going to be a really important narrative this cycle, so keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out on Bizen Link, and more of that for sure. But let's get to the next thing, and that is Hedera has hit tier 1 status on this very important platform. Which platform is it? Well, let's take a look. Hedera is now live as a tier 1 blockchain on DFNS. A good name for that. I like that. DFNS. Developers and institutions can now use DFNS to create Hedera wallets, manage HBAR and Hedera native tokens, send and receive transfers, and access our multi-chain wallet feature set. I really think we're going to see a lot more with multi-chain and interoperability the more we go into the future. So why Hedera? Built on parallel processing, no wasted work, finality in 3 to 5 seconds, up to 10,000 TPS for token transfers, 0.0001 kilowatt hour per transaction, fully carbon negative. This is the greenest blockchain by far. Even, I cover a lot of Algorand, and it's pretty green, but not as green as Hedera. Fixed USD fees, often under a tenth of a cent there. So that's a big deal, by the way, too. A lot of people don't talk about this, but that fixed USD fee I think that makes a big difference because people want to know how much is this thing going to be. We saw this recently with companies saying that they're really concerned about holding gas fees. They don't want to. This is something Chainlink pointed out recently. Companies don't want to hold a bunch of cryptocurrency to have to pay these gas fees that fluctuate. They're just not interested in that. So having fixed USD fees, big deal. Why DFNS and Hedera mean, or what does it mean? Automatic asset recognition for HBAR and HBAR tokens, full transaction history and audit trails, secure signing and transaction submission, and real-time monitoring via webhooks. By the way, what is this? This is a leading wallets as a service platform that helps fintechs and institutions and enterprises manage digital assets and blockchain integrations. So very cool. I think this is stuff like this is like, you know, people who are just care about price might not get that excited about that. But from a technology standpoint, I think this stuff is very, very interesting. So good news for that, but let's get to our next item. As this company is bringing institutional funds on chain via Hedera. I used to put the on chain in quotes for people who are going to yell at me in the chats, but this is really, really cool. You guys know I've been getting more into Ondo because I like what they're doing with on-chain, with institutional finance and on-chain assets here coming to Hedera as well. So let's dive in here. This is from a company called Kaio, bringing institutional funds on chain via the Hedera network. Again, that's what they're saying, not me. I know it's not a chain. It's a DLT, but we get it, right? Kaio, the first fully on-chain infrastructure for regulated real-world assets, today announced the expansion of its tokenized fund offerings on the Hedera network. By combining Kaio's institutional-grade infrastructure and the Hedera network's high-performance, sustainable public DLT, the integrations enable secure, compliant, and composable access to alternative investment products directly on-chain. So awesome to see that. I think this will be really, really, really good for the network. This is stuff that I'm interested in. Like, I know Ondo has like tokenized US treasuries, and the programmability makes a big difference because you can have your token and actually program the smart contract to operate as if it were a US treasury versus having to have some kind of derivative. So very cool stuff. This is the kind of stuff, you know, these news, again, kind of boring but important, as I like to call it, but this is the stuff that moves the needle for long-term adoption and sustainability, which is what you want. If you're in here for a quick turnaround, you know, you can do that with meme coins, but if you want something that's like has real substance behind it, this is the kind of stuff you want to care about. And last but not least, Grayscale. You know Grayscale, they're the leading capital firm that focuses on crypto. They just registered their Cardano and Hedera ETFs in Delaware. A lot of corporations do business in Delaware. Cool, let's dive in here. Just in, Grayscale registers for a Cardano and Hedera ETF in Delaware, indicating it may soon file for a spot Cardano and Hedera ETF. I like this one here. Make your move, BlackRock HBAR ETF. Hey, this is really great because this is what happens is this brings people over. Let's see what John here said. He said, Grayscale moves, this isn't just paperwork, it's a sign that Wall Street is preparing to open the gates for broader L1 exposure. And I think we talked about the XRP ETF that's been in the works for a while, but now an ADA and an HBAR ETF, maybe we'll start working our way down the chain and start getting into like a SWI ETF and a Algorand ETF. But this is a big deal because it just brings fresh capital. You know, it's people who, it brings capital to people who otherwise they're just not going to go out and buy it. They're not going to get an HBAR wallet. They're not going to be playing around on Saucer Swap. You know, they're just not going to do that. And this brings capital in, and more liquidity, more capital, always a good thing. So yeah, I'm pretty bullish on this news. I think we're going to see more and more of these ETFs as the market grows and matures. You know, right now, I mean, we talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is very low volatility compared to what it used to be. It's actually less volatile than like the top tech stocks right now, which is wild. I mean, you can't imagine that as like someone who was kind of here from, I wouldn't even say the early days of Bitcoin. I was kind of paying attention to it a little bit, but you know, from 2017 to now, big difference. And we're going to see more and more stuff like this. So stay tuned. Anyway, that's all I got for you this week. I hope you enjoyed the show. And which news are you most excited about? How bullish are you? Let me know in the comments below. And I try to get to everyone, but man, the spam has been crazy. It's been crazy. I can't get through all the comments. You just can't keep up with it. you can't you can block certain words because it's all these like spam crypto things, and you block one and another one shows up the next day. So I try to get to as many as possible, but man, it is tough. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well out there. I think we got some leg up for Ethereum, and then that's going to transition into the altcoins. So hold on to your bags. We got a long ways to go. Otherwise, I'm Frugal BC. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the future.